Let's talk marketing. Let's talk Google PPC pay-per-click marketing. This is my reaction and my advice to anybody that wants to get in the Google Ads world for your real estate investing business. Here's going to be the ins and outs. There's going to be some truths there that you're not going to want to listen to. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rob Lufe. I have a wholesaling business out of Miami, Florida. We wholesale hundreds of deals nationwide, do fix and flips, have short-term rentals, long-term rentals, anything real estate investing in the residential world. This is why I made this channel. I'm passionate about it and I want to help you succeed. Now, let's talk Google Ads and PPC marketing. So at first, I want to go over what exactly this means. So when I talk about Google Ads, PPC marketing, this is basically the function of spending money on Google to drive people to your website, right? People that pay per click on a specific ad. So you can go on Google, and if you type in sell my house fast Miami, sell my house fast Atlanta, sell my house fast wherever you're from, you'll see websites that come up. And you click on those websites and you can fill out a form with your house information. And that is what I mean by PPC. So this is direct to seller. This is direct marketing, right? You pay for clicks, you pay for conversions, people fill in their information and it comes to you to your company. Now, why we did it. So we've been doing pay-per-click ads for about a year and 3 months now. We've made well over 7 figures with it. We've probably invested right around 350 to 400 grand in it. So, I've learned a thing or two. I don't have all the answers, right? I'm not a PPC expert. I'm not the marketer, but from the business level, I can give you my feedback so that you can take this feedback and do what you want with it. Now, why we did this? We did this because I've always had the vision to have a big company, right? I've never wanted to be a 2-3 man show. I've always wanted to have a big company and do 8-9 figures in business. In wholesaling specific, I've always wanted to do 8 figures in business, so 10 million or more. And I knew in order to do that, I couldn't just do that on cold calling, text messaging. I needed something bigger. I needed something that can scale. And we tried scaling text messages. I've tried scaling cold calling. And although those work and those can get you to 7 figures, I needed something that can go boom. And this was PPC for us. Now I'm going to go over some of the pros, some of the cons, and then what is my final feedback to you if you wanted to use this. So what are some of the pros of Google Ads marketing, of PPC marketing? Well, number one, the sellers are freaking motivated most of the time, okay? So what I mean by this, if somebody types in sell my house fast Miami, Florida, or sell my house fast, Charleston, or sell my house fast Los Angeles, this seller, this client has been thinking about selling their house. This is not something new. When they sit in their computer, go on their phone and type this into Google, this is premeditated, right? This is not something they just thought of in the moment. This is like 3 months in the making, right? Like they've already talked to their brother, they've already talked to their mom about it, their dad. They're like, man, should I sell my house? Yeah, I should sell it. Maybe not. Let me talk to a realtor. They've already talked to a realtor. Like a lot of times when the lead comes in, the seller's really motivated to get an offer. The seller's really motivated to sell because they've already been thinking about this. Think about the last time that you plugged something into Google to buy, like, new TVs. A lot of times you've already been thinking about TVs or furniture. And then now is your time to make a decision. So I really love that about PPC. And it takes us an average of 12 to 15 PPC leads to get a contract signed from a seller. So when it comes to cold call or text messaging, that number is closer to like 50 to 70, or sometimes even 100, depending on your market. 100 leads to get a contract signed versus 12 leads to get a contract signed. So there is a big difference there. What I also like about Google Ads is that you get some really fat deals. So you get some really deeply discounted properties because they're motivated. They want to sell quick. They typically don't want to sell with a realtor. They typically are already convinced. They convince themselves that they want to sell to a cash buyer. If not, you're not going to plug that in. If your house is we'll get these sometimes, but if your house is perfect, beautiful, brand new, you're not going to put like sell my house fast, It happens, don't get me wrong, but overall, we have seen that we get some really big profits because people are just very motivated and they want to sell their house fast. Our average profit per deal on Google Ads is about $31,000, which is pretty incredible to think that. Yeah, I mean, I still think about it sometimes. People ask me like, why would someone sell their house at such a discount? It's like, I don't know, but on Google, they're finding us. Like they want to talk to us. Like sometimes they follow up with us. It's a really weird dynamic. For a lot of my, career, I started with cold calling, texting. I did some direct mail, but I also did some MLS. And a lot of people are just kind of like repelling from you, like, I don't want to talk to you, and like kind of brushing you off. But in Google, they're like following up with you. So those are a lot of pros right there. Now, what are some cons? What are some things that aren't so good about PPC? Some people think that the grass is green on the other side, but I'd argue it's kind of the same. So I'm going to share this with you. So the cons of PPC is that it takes about 6 months of marketing, takes 6 months of tweaking your campaigns to actually see a lot of results. So I've coached some students that have smaller budgets, let's say under $5,000, to invest in Google Ads every month. And I've noticed that they didn't get results till 6 months. It took us about 9 months to get results, but now knowing what I know now, and if you do it the right way, within 6 months, you can get real results. Now you can get deals and leads and contracts week 2, week 3, week 1. However, the return on investment gets greater and actually good after 6 months in the game. So that's something a lot of people won't tell you. Yes, can you get leads right away if you set up a campaign? Yes, but typically the leads aren't great and they're probably in the middle of nowhere, things like this. So to get the best cost per lead and to get everything running, you got to dedicate about 6 months to it. Some of the cons is that if you're going to do Google Ads, and if you're going to go the nationwide PPC model, so the nationwide Google Ads model, it is a whole new business model. This is not just a marketing campaign. This is not just like adding mail, adding direct mail, or this is not just like adding cold calling. This is a whole new game. Like your acquisitions process changes, your dispositions process changes, your transaction coordination process changes, your customer service process changes. So like if you're going the nationwide Google Ads route, which what this means is that we're here in South Florida and we have Google Ads running in 18 different states. So today we can get a lead in Miami, tomorrow we get a lead in Vegas, the next day we get a lead in Austin. And it might sound awesome, but you just have to know that it is a whole different business. It is not just like a local wholesaling or real estate business anymore. And some of the cons too, and another con that I see is that you must do this yourself, or someone from your team, your internal staff, maybe your partner, your wife, just someone has to do this yourself. We have handed this off to about 2 to 3 different companies to do our Google Ads for us. I've met many people. I've had clients and students that have handed off their Google Ads to other agencies, and it just has never worked. Okay. This is my experience. I'm not saying this is not the only truth, but this is the truth I have seen with spending tons and tons of money and helping students try to get the same. And when you hand it off to another company, they just care less. And it just takes a lot of tweaking in this business. It takes a lot of tweaking. So one of the cons is you or someone on your staff, on your team, must learn how to do the Google Ads thing and be tweaking it yourself. And it's not a handoff thing. So it's not so much a set it and forget it. It doesn't require a lot of attention once you have it set up, maybe 2 to 4 hours a week. So it's nothing crazy. In the first 2 to 3 months, you're going to have to be doing this probably 10 hours a week until you're like learn it and then figure it out. Then it's a lot less, but this is something you have to absolutely crush yourself. So overall, what are my thoughts? What are my opinions? If you want to, say, hey, Raul, like, okay, I get it. What if I do want to do it? What are my overall thoughts on it? So number one is that you have to be ready for this. You have to be ready that you are doing a lead source that is expensive, right? You got to pay, more per lead. Yes, you get qualified leads. Yes, motivation. Yes, deals, but you are paying more per lead. Our average cost per lead is $80 to $100, which is pretty low. But if you are to do this in a local market, right? If you're to, let's say you're in Atlanta, Georgia, if you're only going to do this in Atlanta, if you're only going to do this in Cali, your leads are probably going to be above $200 per lead. So it's pretty expensive. It's something you got to think about. Overall, my thoughts also are that what I have seen from our budgets and all my students' budgets is you should allocate at least $15,000 per month for Google Ads for 6 months to be successful. Yes, I know. This is my thoughts. Again, I'm not the full, I'm not some like PPC nerd, but I'm just telling you from a business real estate wholesaling perspective, that is what I'd allocate. And if you don't have that, that's okay. I didn't start there either, but I wouldn't do that until you're ready to commit to that. So my thoughts are, before you get into this, I would have an amazing sales process. So like be super dialed in over the phone, be able to have the skill to close a deal over the phone. That is an absolute necessity, and it has to be dialed into the T that with absolute confidence that you can close sellers. And lastly, some of my thoughts are you must have an amazing CRM system. So if a lead comes in, it's got to go into a CRM that you know about. You got to be able to call the lead within 5 minutes consistently. So you must have an amazing like operational system as well in order to absolutely capitalize and crush it on PPC. So overall, it's an amazing marketing source if you are ready to scale your business and if you are ready to go into a game that there's big players, right? There's people that are making hundreds of thousands every single month just doing this, right? Just like us. But you have to be ready for these things, and you got to take what I said into account and then make that decision for yourself. But should you get in? Yes, if you are ready. And if you listen to this video, rewind it. If you forgot some things, listen to that, because we made some mistakes and we lost hundreds of thousands. Maybe not hundreds of thousands, but we probably lost tens of thousands making the wrong mistakes. I absolutely think you should do it if you want to go big. Boom. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please, if you liked it, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell, that notification bell if you want to get notified every time we make a video. We'll do about 3 videos per week, offering value to you. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about, so I can get that done for you. Thank you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.